Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Kayla, and I'll be leading us through our yoga playlist, our yoga practice. And I'm thinking of the playlist because I want to make sure that we know that we don't need to start the playlist right away. We're going to start with a little bit of breath work before we get the music rolling. So if you are ready, you can just come to a comfortable seat, and whatever that may be for you, it might be hero's pose, cross-leg position, even just extending the legs out long. One other thing too is if you do have any sort of prop like a block or a block-like object, that might come in handy today. It's not going to be required, so don't worry if you don't have it. It's just something that might assist you if you want to grab that real quick. Otherwise, getting yourself situated in a seat. You can re-lengthen through the spine, maybe roll the shoulders back a couple times just to ensure that you're falling naturally down the back. Hands can rest gently to your knees, to your thighs. And if it feels all right there, you can close the eyes. As we start to come into our practice, though, is we focus in first on the body. Just getting a sense of where we are at. How does it feel? Especially in the morning, you maybe haven't had a lot of time to think about your body yet today. And as you start to maybe come into a little more of a relationship with that, feeling if you are feeling tight or if you're feeling a little sore. Maybe you're also feeling really energetic though, and you feel great. Setting that down for a moment though, just so that we can now move a little deeper into our energy. And the energy is really more from within. So you can think about if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling a little, maybe you're feeling very energetic, so it's hard to keep your thoughts focused. And we don't want to judge here. We're really just trying to find where we are beginning. And as we begin here, maybe you can start to shift your focus to your breath. And that breath is really our gateway to finding that sense of calm from within. And if it feels okay for you, you can stay with your hands by your legs, or maybe you want to bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. There you can really feel the breath as it inhales and exhales. As you inhale, maybe you can really start the breath from the belly first, so filling up the belly, and then filling up a little bit more from your chest. And as we release that, it's the chest that releases first, and then the belly. It may start off really subtle here, so continuing your breath each time, maybe going just a little bit deeper, taking just a little bit more air in, and then slowing down that exhale, extending it out as long as it can. As we find this three-part breath, it's the belly we lift through first, it's the ribs, it's finally the chest, and then you release it from the chest, the ribs, and the belly. We really want that to be continuous here, so thinking of it as more of an oval of your air breathing in and out, rather than just holding the breath and letting it go. This way we can keep that breath flowing continuously, and it might even start to become a little more natural that way. Take a few more rounds of breath just like that. With your next exhale, you can release those hands if you did take them to your chest. And slowly start to blink the eyes open. We'll settle into our intention here, which for today, we have the option, if you'd like, to use the idea of grounding. Now, it's easy for this time to start to feel as if the world is just shifting a little bit too much, and you don't really know where you should be placed. Are you going out, and are you wearing your mask? Are you going in? Are you wearing your mask? And it's a lot of, what should I do? I don't know where I go. And here on our mats, we don't have to worry about that. We're here just to enjoy the freedom to breathe, the freedom to move. So let that be your resonance here. And don't forget about it, because that's a very simple thing, but it's easy to forget. If there's anything else though calling for you today, you're welcome to use it. We will solidify the intention you're choosing with a round of breath. Start by releasing all existing air out. And then breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth to release again. Excellent. From here, if you would like to, you can start that music playlist. Again, it's just on my Spotify name, and the playlist is called Don't Forget. As you're ready, then we'll stay in this seated position, though, and we'll reach the arms up overhead, expanding through our rib cage just a little bit more. And as you exhale, taking a twist over to the right, place your right hand behind you. The left hand can come to the outside of your thigh or knee. We start by just lifting taller through our spine on an inhale. And as you exhale, you can twist a little deeper from the navel up. You can stay with your gaze over to the left here if that's comfortable, but you might want to try something different and just bring your gaze over towards the left. And this might be a nice way to stretch a little bit more through the neck. Take one more round of breath here. As you inhale again, reach the arms back up overhead, and we'll take it to the other side. Now we reach our hands over to the left, staying right here for a moment so that we can lift up taller as you inhale, and as you exhale, twisting just a little deeper. Stay with your gaze to the left, or turn your gaze over towards the right if you prefer. Taking one more round of breath here. As you inhale again, reach those arms up overhead, and we'll just take it to a gentle forward fold. So let your arms reach forwards, finding a way to relax through your head. Noticing here if you can still let your tailbone be rooted towards the earth. Maybe a little sway from side to side. Feeling out how the back is today. And with your next inhale, start to just lift your gaze up so that you can begin moving forwards into a tabletop. You may need to cross your ankles underneath you, no worries. But setting up here as we move into our tabletop position, wrists under shoulders and knees under your hips. Starting off by just pressing into the mat with your hands, lifting through the back body. So we have a nice expansion of their shoulder blades. Stay with that expansion and just start to shift your tailbone up, lift through your gaze for your cow pose. On an exhale, round through your back body, now lifting your spine to the ceiling for your cat. Inhale back through to a cow pose. Gaze can lift, tailbone lifts. Exhaling out to your cat pose. Inhaling back through to your cow, and you can start to move this with your own breath cycle now. So matching that breath to your movements, feeling out how that feels, and maybe even starting to work into a little more organic movement as well. That could mean you will go a little side to side, looking over one shoulder, looking over the other, swaying the hips a little bit more from side to side. Or maybe there's some hybrid cat-cow that you take that feels really nice for you here. Wherever you are, take 2 more rounds of breath. And we'll meet back into tabletop as you finish. This time in your tabletop, extend your left arm forwards in front of you and extend your right leg back behind. Just noticing how that feels here. Press the earth away with your right palm. Stretch long through the back of your leg. We want to keep the right hip down as much as we can so we're not opening the hips, but rather keeping them squared to your mat. Take one more breath here to lengthen. And as you exhale, draw your elbow to your knee underneath you. Arch the back. Inhale to re-lengthen the arm to leg. Exhale, elbow to the knee. Inhale to re-lengthen. One more time. Draw elbow to the knee. Inhale to re-lengthen and pause. You can lower your left hand down, but keep your right foot lifted and bend into your right knee. Now your heel should be pressing up to the sky. From there, take little pulses with that heel towards the ceiling, noticing if you can really isolate this into the leg. We're not opening the hip here. We're not swaying hips from side to side. It's really just an activation of that glute to lift your leg up and down. Staying like this just for a couple rounds. Noticing if you can still lift your low ribs up and in. We'll stay here for 3, 2, 1. Pause. Keep that foot lifted. And now curl your left toes under. We'll start to press that back into a three-legged dog, reaching your right leg behind you. And you're welcome to open up your hips here. Give a circle of your right ankle, finding some freedom to move around a little bit. Finding our way back to that three-legged dog, keeping the right leg lifted. As you exhale, draw the knee to your nose again. Pause here this time and step your right foot through to a low lunge. You're welcome to drop that back knee down. We'll all meet with the back knee down in this modified low lunge, moving that right foot as far forwards as you can to get it underneath your knee. Now, as we're ready here, you can tent up onto finger pads, starting to feel a little bit more of a stretch into your hips. If this feels good, stay. If you're looking for just a little more, though, you can come into proposal pose, starting to bend a little deeper into your front knee, hands coming to the top of your right thigh. Working here as we engage through our core, we were squeezing those inner thighs towards each other to maintain that long spine. If you have those hands lifted, go ahead and release them back, framing your front foot. And exhale, straightens through your front knee for a half splits pose. You're welcome to also move that right foot forwards a little bit further to help lengthen a little longer through the back of your leg. Pausing for a moment here, you're welcome to fold or stay lifted with your spine, whatever feels the most natural. With your next inhale, press forwards again to that low lunge, curl your back toes, lift your back knee, and step it back to high plank pose. Moving in this first high plank, we can hinge forwards and backwards a little bit, finding that center of gravity so that our core is what's really maintaining that lift. There we can find a little bit more distribution of weight evenly between the arms, between the legs, so we're not dumping the weight too much into our wrists. You're welcome to stay here with your knees lifted, or you are welcome to lower the knees to the earth at any point in time. We'll stay here just for a few more rounds of breath, really trying to press into the earth, arching a little bit more through your back of your spine. Find one more breath in. And as you exhale, drop those knees to the earth if they're not there yet. We'll hinge the chest forwards, finding a long spine. As you exhale, keeping elbows in, start to lower just halfway down. Holding there, exhale presses you back up to your high plank. Your modified high plank, that is. Exhale lowers you down again into that halfway lower. Exhale lifts you back up. One more time, lowering it down and lifting it up. Perfect. Lower down again halfway. Hold, and this time release to the belly. You can uncurl the toes here, pressing the tops of the feet into the earth as you lift it up into a baby cobra. Exhale, release. Doing that again. Inhale, lift it up, baby cobra. Maybe coming just a little higher this time. And exhale, release. One more time, lift it up, baby cobra. Hold it right there, seeing if you can maintain this lift as you continue to breathe. Core is hugging up and in here to allow a little more space for your low back. One more breath in. Exhale to release, let it go. Curl the toes under, just press into a tabletop once more. You can give a sway of your hips to side. You could even take a cat and cow here. We'll begin to do the same sequence on the other side. To set ourselves up and we meet in our tabletop, and this time it's going to be our right arm extending forwards. And if you're ready, then the left leg extends back. Find a pause here, lift those low ribs up and in so we find a strong core to maintain our balance. Take one more breath like this. As you exhale, draw the elbow to your knee underneath you. Inhale to re-lengthen. Exhale, elbow to the knee. Inhale, re-lengthen one more time. Elbow draws towards your knee. Inhale to lengthen, hold and pause. Drop just the right hand to the earth and bend into the right knee, the left knee rather, so your heel presses to the sky. Now from there, find those little pulses. Really finding micro movements here. It's not about how high you can lift your foot. It's about how controlled you can keep this movement in that left leg. Making sure you're still breathing as you find these movements. Each movement is intentional. We'll stay like this for a few more rounds. Staying for 3, 2, 1. Keep that foot lifted. Curl the right toes under now as you press it back into a 3-legged dog. Left leg is lifted. You're welcome to open your hips here. Take any sort of movements that feel good to you. Really striving, though, to press equal weight into your finger pads to help lift your hips a little higher. We'll meet with that left leg lifted, squaring your hips to the earth. On an exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Pause, breathe in. Exhale, steps your foot through to a low lunge. We'll meet with that back knee lowered. So feel free to press that left foot forwards a little bit further as you arrive. Meeting as you would take a little time to open your hips. Staying on your finger pads, or if you like proposal pose, bring those hands one on top of the other. Find some movement there. If you do have those hands lifted, go ahead, release them back down to the mat. And we'll start to straighten through the left knee now, moving into that half splits pose. The more you press into that left heel, the more activation you'll start to feel in the back of your leg. So striving to press that heel down and then also pull your left hip back a little bit. This will really give you a nice stretch, a little more through the outer hip, which is your IT band. Take a next inhale forwards again to your low lunge. Curl your back toes, lift your back knee, and this time we'll arrive into a downward, or rather a high plank pose one more time. High plank here. Again, knees lifted or lowered. Pause for a moment just to establish that strong foundation. Take a breath in. As you exhale, drop those knees to the earth again, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, lowers you down halfway, hold. Inhale to press you back up. Again, exhale, lowers you down, hold. Inhale, lift it up. One more time, hold here at that halfway point. And exhale, lowers you to the belly. Uncurl toes, inhale, lifts you up again to your cobra, maybe coming just a bit higher. Exhale, release, let that go. One more time, inhale, lift you up to your cobra pose. And exhale to release. This time as you curl the toes under, we'll press into downward facing dog. Letting yourself find a bit of a moment here to pause. This is our first official downward facing dog of the practice. So take time to maybe adjust, move around, bend and straighten out your knees. You can sway your head a little from side to side if that feels nice for your neck. Once you've established that downward facing dog, find stillness there. Can you still find that same level of strength and activity in your muscles as if you were moving, but here in stillness? With your next inhale, look forwards, bend your knees, and start to walk yourself forward to the top of the space, meeting in a forward fold. In this forward fold, find a halfway lift to re-lengthen our spines. Exhale, fold to release. Now you can toe kill your feet a bit wider here. Finding Ragdoll Pose, grabbing opposite elbow. You can hang heavy, letting the torso just sort of dangle down below, or you can find some movement too, just a sway from side to side. Maybe even shaking your head out, yes, and mindfully no. With your next exhale, release those hands back to the earth and toe heel your feet closer in if you did move them out. Inhale, halfway lift, again, re-lengthening spine. Exhale to fold. Add a micro bend to your knees, hang that head heavy, and start to roll your spine up one vertebra at a time, making sure that the head is the very last thing to lift. And once the head lifts, you can take the arms up overhead with you to your mountain pose. Strong through the feet, strong through the legs. Take a breath in. Exhale brings your hands to your heart center. We'll start to move through our sunays here, taking the first couple just a little slower, just meaning we add a couple more breaths. And then we'll start to add more of a one breath, one movement pace. Take an inhale, reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, release torso down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, step back to high plank pose. Now you can stay with that high plank with your knees lifted. We'll go ahead and lower ourselves all the way to the belly. So taking it all the way down, uncurl your toes. You can lift it up then on an inhale to cobra, or maybe you're ready for an upward facing dog. Hips and thighs are lifted here. On an exhale, hug that core up and in so you can curl the toes back under, meeting in downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here and a full breath out. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, steps forwards to the top of the space, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rises up, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to the heart. Pause and breathe for a breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, arms reach high again. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting hands, step back to that high plank. Again, knees lifted or lowered. This time you have the choice to lower just halfway. There, we curl the toes under and press our way up to cobra or upward facing dog. On an exhale, again, curl the toes under, meeting in downward facing dog. Full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, bend knees, step forward to the top of the space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart. Last time, taking it a little slower. Next inhale, reaches the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands. Step back, high plank, your choice. Lowering halfway or to the belly. Inhaling to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Full breath in and a full breath out. We'll start to move with our breath now. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, step or hop it to the front of the space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold right away. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, step back, high plank. With that exhale, lower halfway or to the belly. Inhaling up to cobra or upward dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, step or hop front of the space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain, lifting off. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, step or hop it back. And if you are hopping, just make sure you land with bent elbows to take you down. We'll meet ourselves back in that downward facing dog on an exhale. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, step or hop front of the space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, step or hop it back. Take that vinyasa on an exhale. Inhaling to lift your chest. Exhale, downward dog. One more time. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, step or hop to the front of the space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain, lift it up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, step back, high plank. Exhale, lowers you down. Inhaling up, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. We'll stay there this time. And pause. Maybe take a breath. Maybe take a child's pose. Maybe take a drink of water. That's always a great choice. Just coming back to a steady breath pace if you've lost it. Knowing it's okay to lose the breath. It's really about finding that awareness to bring it back again. We'll meet back in downward facing dog though. Starting to move forwards again. When you're ready, take an inhale, look forwards. Exhale, step or hop to the front of the space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time, sink your hips back, reach the arms forwards, chair pose. So you have that chair pose. Your feet can be together touching, or they can be a little separated. We just don't want them to be too far out like a squat. We want them to be at least hips distance apart. So arms can stretch forwards, or the hands can come to your heart if you're feeling like that breath is still coming back to you. It's easier to breathe with your hands at your heart. Let your sit bones sink back. So we really can stretch through those hamstrings, engaging through the core to maintain that tall spine. Staying here a couple extra breaths this first round. Noticing where that edge is. If you're trying to think of other things, like what's going to go on in your day, sink deeper. Awesome. We'll have one more full breath in. Hold and stay as you breathe out. Final inhale here. Exhale, forward fold, release. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting hands. You can step back and stay in this high plank. Great way to build strength. Otherwise, lower down and take your vinyasa if you prefer. We meet in downward facing dog. Meeting in down dog, right leg lifts up high. Exhale, knee to nose, hold it there. Inhale to re-lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to re-lengthen. Last time, knee to nose. This time, step through a little lunge. Setting up for our crescent lunge, you're welcome to take that with the back knee down or lift it as we reach the arms up high. Squeeze those inner thighs together. That's going to find your stability, your balance. And maybe from there, you can even lift the torso a little higher. Those hip bones are trying to lift up towards your belly button. Once you've found that place where you can hold, see if you can still strive to go deeper. That might mean you bend a little deeper into your front knee. Might mean that you pull that left heel a little further back. One more breath like that. As you exhale, open, twist to the right. So we're twisting from the navel up, which means our hips do not move at all. It's that upper ribs that are twisting open, maybe gazing towards your back hand. Nice, take a breath in here. As you exhale, windmill those hands down to frame your front foot, and the right foot steps back. Exhale to lower through a vinyasa if you want it, or skipping it, taking the high plank or downward facing dog. We'll meet in that downward facing dog for the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to your nose, keep it there. Inhale, lift your leg back again. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to re-lengthen, this time knee to nose and step through low lunge. Setting up again, reach those arms up for crescent lunge. If you're feeling a little wobbly in your stance, hello? Hello?
Hi, I can see you again.
Great.
You froze.
We're in this crescent lunge on the left side. So I should switch my legs out. From there, we exhale, open, twist it towards the left. Awesome. So making sure here as we twist, it's almost like we're trying to take our right rib cage and pull it forwards just a little bit more. Settle into that, breathe in. Exhale, windmills the hands down, frame that front foot, and left foot steps back as you exhale. Lower if you need that vinyasa, or take it back to downward facing dog. Next, we'll do that. We'll take that sun B again with one chair pose this time, meeting in downward facing dog. Take an inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or hop front of the space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, settle in as you exhale. One more inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, step or hop back to high plank where you have the choice to stay or to lower. Just meet in downward facing dog when you're ready. From there, our right leg lifts up high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose, step through this time to low lunge. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, open twist to the right. Pause as you breathe in to lengthen. Exhale, hands release. Then stepping the right foot back. Lowering from there or going right back to downward facing dog if you prefer. With your next inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, steps through, this time low lunge. Inhale, rise up, crescent. Exhale, open twist to the left. Hold, breathe in. Exhale, hands windmill down. Frame that left foot and step it back. Exhale to lower it down. Inhale to lift it up. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. One more time like that. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, step it all the way through, this time to low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, open twist to the right. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, releases the hands down and steps your foot back. Lower as you exhale. Inhale to lift your chest. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Inhale. Exhale, steps you right away through low lunge. Inhale to crescent lunge. Exhale, open twist. Hold, breathe in. Exhale to release the hands down and step the left foot back. Exhale, lowers you down. Inhale, lifts your chest up. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Again, you can stay right there. Pause. Drop the knees if you need to. We're coming in off of the wrist for a little bit. So come on down to either a child's pose or a hero's pose as we start to transition to our little mini core exercise. All right, so for today, we're gonna meet on our backs for our core. So set up there, lowering all the way down to your back. When you get onto your back, lift your legs to reverse tabletop, which just means your knees are stacked on your hips. Now from here, we'll start with our head down, so just keep your arms by your side. And keeping the knees stacked on top of your hips, start to straighten through your legs. Next, from here, exhale, lower your legs down just about halfway. Hold it there, press those heels forwards. And as you exhale, bend your knees and draw those knees on top of your hips. Great, we'll do that again. So as you exhale, or inhale rather, straighten through your legs. Exhale to lower just about halfway, hold it there. And then we bend into your knees to get them to stack on your hips. You can stay with that pattern. If you want to lift your head, bring your hands behind your head. And from there, we keep the head lifted straight through the legs. Exhale to lower it down. Hold, breathe in. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, straighten. Exhale to lower. Hold, breathe in. Exhale, bend your knees. Nice. Couple more times in this direction. Take it at your own pace. Really moving with intention here. That means we're not just going as fast as we can through this, because that's not going to use core. That's going to just use momentum, and we're here to use the core. So we may as well try our best to get there. Once you finish up this next round, so knees stacked on top of your hips, pause, release your head down again, and we're going to reverse this. So just to take it slow this first couple of times, and we'll have the option to lift our head again. As you exhale, start by pressing your heels forward, straighten the legs. Inhale, then lifts your heels. Exhale, bends your knees. Great, so finding that pace. Inhale, stretches you forwards. Hold, exhale. Inhale, lift, and exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, reach it forwards. Hold, exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend your knees. Stay like that, or bring your hands behind your head again. Inhale, presses forwards. Hold, exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, reach. Hold, exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bends your knees. Great. Stay with that same pattern here. A couple more times. Really moving. It's like you're moving your legs through quicksand or honey. There's a bit of resistance as you move your legs, so you can start to activate even more muscle, and then activates even more control from your core. Nice. We'll take two more just like this. And we'll meet then with those knees stacked on top of our hips. And you can hug your knees into your chest from there. Give a release, a little sway from side to side. Nice work. From here, we'll just start to rock and roll forwards and backwards, taking it all the way up into our downward facing dog. Now, if you want to take a vinyasa, you of course can take a vinyasa. But if you'd rather spend that time grabbing a drink of water or finding your breath in a downward dog, take that as well. We meet in downward facing dog though. Nice. So if you did have that block, you can start to place it towards the front of your mat. But again, it's just an option. We'll start here by looking forwards. And as you exhale, bend your knees, step or hop to the front of the space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to mountain pose. And as you exhale, sink it back to your chair. Great. So not staying here too long in chair pose. But as you're ready, press that way into your right foot. And as you exhale, lift your left foot off the earth for a one-legged Tadasana. Finding that strength here, so we're lifting from our core, keeping that spine long, so we're not hinging back, we're not hinging forwards, shoulders stacked on hips. From here, we straighten through that left leg, reach it back, arms can stretch forwards, or if that's a little too much for shoulders, hands to your heart for a warrior three. Finding that steadiness, that balance. Maybe noticing if you can extend that left heel further back behind you to allow a little more stretch. Nice. One more breath in here. As you exhale, bend into your right knee, step those left toes back, and we arrive into our crescent lunge. Breathe in. Exhale, open twist towards the right. Stay there or take exalted warrior, reaching that right hand towards your left thigh, and left arm is then reaching to the sky. It's a really big lift of that chest, so just be mindful of how your back is taking it. If you did take your exalted warrior, come back to your twisted. Now, gazing forwards, left hand reaches forwards. As we take that left hand forwards, we're extending it past the front of our mat, maybe to that block, as we move into a revolved half moon. Left foot is lifted as high as it can, but keep your hips squared. As we find that twist then through the upper body, it's the right arm lifting, and that from the belly button up is what's twisting us deeper. One more breath like that. And now a little challenge for our balance. Take that left hand off the earth and replace it with your right hand down. Open your hips, open that left arm as we take it to half moon pose. Big stretch here, opening through the chest. One more breath in. Exhale, bend into right knee, step it all the way back, warrior two. Readjust here a little bit as you need to, so we have a nice stance that's open, and we have that front knee tracking over our front heel. Settle into those hips. Really activate through the pinky edge side of your back foot. With an inhale, flip that right palm and reverse your warrior back. You can gaze at your back foot. You can gaze upwards. Maybe finding just a little more height through your right side body though. As you exhale, right arm reaches as far forwards as it can. As you lower it to your right thigh, the left arm reaches up, extended side angle. You can also take that arm overhead if it's okay for your shoulders. Maybe even a little half bind action here to roll that left shoulder back. Sink a little deeper into that front knee. Strengthen up that back leg. Your hips stay as they are as we inhale, reverse it up and back to reverse warrior. Exhale, windmills the hands down to frame your front foot, and right foot steps back, high plank. Lower from there if you want it to your vinyasa, and meet it back to downward facing dog. Switching to sides, we start by inhaling, looking forwards. Exhale, step or hop to the front of the space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Exhale, sink back chair. Pause for a moment here, getting situated into that chair pose. Weight presses into your left foot. Inhale, lifts your right foot high. Noticing if you can activate from that core to lift your knee. Full breath in. Exhale, straighten the left or right leg rather as you hinge forwards to warrior three. Getting that right hip to really drop heavy down. Don't worry if you fall. Don't worry if it means you have to shorten up the stance a little bit. Worry more about the strength of your hips, of your core. Steady it here for a full breath in. As you exhale, bend into the left knee and step right toes back. Inhaling up to Crescent Lunge. Full breath in to prepare. Exhale, open, twist it towards the left. Staying there if you like, or Exalted Warrior. Left hand to your right thigh, reaching your right arm up and taking a little micro back bend with your upper back. If you took Exalted, return back to Twisted. And now let yourself gaze forwards, right hand reaches forwards, past the front of your mat even, to come off your right toes, revolved half moon, lifting through that right hip and twisting from the navel up to open your left side body. Again, a block underneath your right hand or a water bottle might be a nice assist here. We'll start to lower our left hand down, reach that right arm up, stacking through your hips to your half moon pose. Woo. A lot of balance here. It's a big challenge, so don't worry about falling. Don't worry about wobbling. That just means your body is learning something new. It's a great experience, really. One more breath in. Exhale, big step back, warrior two. Readjust again, check out those feet. Make sure as you bend into your left knee, you can see the big toe mound of your left foot. And pause as you settle into that. Flip your left palm up and reverse your warrior. Again, we want to keep our torso sort of squared off with the side of our mat. So this means we might have to pull that right shoulder back a little bit extra to feel that stretch, even more so through the torso. Take that left arm now, reach it forwards. And as you're ready, you lower that left arm down to extended side angle. Right arm can reach up or overhead or half bind it if you want to try a little something different today. When you settle into that, can you get a little deeper into your hips by dropping even that right hip a little lower? Take an inhale, reverse your warrior, legs stay the same. It's the upper body moving, taking it up and back. On an exhale, windmill the hands down, frame your front foot and left foot steps back to high plank. There, you can lower it down, meeting it in downward facing dog. When you get back to downward dog, take a breath. Take anything you need, a drink of water, because we're going to do that one more time, adding on a little bit more to the end. So prepare yourself. And take an inhale and a full exhale. In your downward facing dog, inhale, look forwards. Exhale, step or hop to the front of the space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose, maybe a little back bend at the top. Exhale, sinks you down to chair pose. Settle into that chair pose and press into your right foot. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, warrior three, reach it back. Pause for a breath in. Exhale, big step back, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, open twist to the right. Maybe you take exalted. Gaze forwards, left hand forwards as you find your revolved half moon. You have some time here, so take it. Open through your chest even a little bit wider. Full breath in, and as you're ready, exhale, lowers your right hand down. Open through your hips for half moon pose. Breathe in. Exhale, big step back, warrior two. Adjust your stance. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, extended side. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Adding on, straighten through the front knee. Reach that right arm forward again with a straight leg, and exhale takes you into triangle pose. Chest is nice and open here, trying to keep that spine long. Crown of the head faces to the front of your mat. The right arm is really light here, so you should be able to lift it off the earth or lift it off your leg rather easily. With your next breath in, inhale, rise up into star pose. I'm going to open myself up here to star, reaching your heart up, reaching your chest up. And as you exhale, come into your horse or your goddess. Setting up those hips here first. So we want to track those knees over your toes. Drop those hips down. Press into the pinky edge sides of your feet. You can stay with your hands at your heart or open up the arms. We're going to do a little bit of core here though. So as you're ready, you can bring those hands behind your head actually. Make sure your tailbone is tucked under, low ribs hugged in. As you exhale, drop it over towards the right. Bring it up to center, legs don't move at all. Exhale, drop it towards the left. Inhale, back to center. Press those hands into, or press your head into your hands. Drop it towards the right. Inhale it up. Exhale, drop it towards the left. Inhale up. Again, one more time each side. Drop it towards the right. Inhale it up. Drop it towards the left. Inhale it up. Great. You can release those hands to whatever variation you prefer. Drop those hips just a little bit deeper. Yeah. Awesome. With your next inhale, rise up to your star. Exhale, warrior two, front of the space. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, windmills the hands down, frame your foot and step that left foot back. Make your way through a transition of your choice. Maybe that's a vinyasa to lower, or it could just be a downward facing dog. We got one more slide here. We got this. Take an inhale, look forwards. Exhale, step or hop to the front of the space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to your mountain, maybe a little back bend at the top. Exhale, sinks back to chair. Find a breath here. Press into your left foot as you inhale, right foot lifts. Exhale, takes you back to warrior three. Take a breath in here. Exhale, steps back. Inhale, up, crescent lunge. Exhale, open twist to the left. Maybe you find exalted. Gaze forwards, right arm forwards, revolve to half moon. We have a couple breaths here to get there. Lifting through your right leg, twisting from the navel up to twist that left arm open. From there, you can release your left hand down, right arm lifts, switching out your hands to your half moon pose. Stack those hips, lift your right heel higher than you think you need to. One more breath in. Exhale, big step back, warrior two. Find yourself here. Change up the stance if you need to. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten through your left knee as far forwards as it can possibly go, and then we hinge from the waist, taking that to triangle. Awesome. You can turn your gaze up. It can be forwards. It can be down, of course. The left arm is light here, pressing into that left heel to engage through the obliques. Awesome work. Next inhale lifts us all the way up into a star pose again. This time, though, bring your hands to your hips. Turn your feet so they're parallel to each other. Lift your chest up. And exhale, hinges us forwards and down, Prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. When you reach the torso down, that's when you can release your hands with you. It's yogi's choice today for your Prasarita. That could just mean right here with your hands down. It could mean you draw your hands underneath you a little more. It could also mean you grab your ankles. Maybe you grab the pinky, wrap your peace fingers around big toes. Wherever you are, it's a nice way to relax the upper body. Still stretching through the lower body, activating through your core. It's also okay to bend your knees a little bit here. You don't have to keep straight legs. In fact, that might be easier if you're trying to lift your hips higher. We'll take one more round of breath here in your version of Prasarita. Starting to meet with our hands coming back underneath our nose. As you get there, take an inhale, halfway lift, strong through that upper back so your hands can come to your hips. And with a flat back, rise all the way up to your tall spine. Reach those heels in, toes out, star pose, inhale. Exhale, warrior two, front of the space. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Last chance here for your vinyasa. And of course, as always, you can skip it. This time when you meet back in downward facing dog, we will be lowering to the knees and taking a seat. So when you're ready for that seat, extend the legs in front of you. We'll bring the soles of our feet together, actually. And as you find your butterfly position here, just notice how your hip flexors are feeling. If they're a little tight, a little sore, bring those feet further out. If you want more intensity though, draw your heels further in. Make sure you have a tall spine to begin with, and really trying to keep that spine long. It's almost like our collarbone is what's leading us as we start to fold, reach that chest forwards, 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 and when it can't reach anymore, then you can release your head down, trying to maintain that long, low back. That's what we're going for here. If it feels good for you, you can even try to push your elbows into your knees. And this is a nice way just to try to press those knees down a little bit more. Just a bit of an extra stretch. Just an option though. We'll start to lift ourselves out of this butterfly pose though. So take your spine all the way up. Keep the legs as it is. Just take your left leg and just swing that foot behind you. Moving into a deer pose, we're sort of creating like a zigzag with our legs. So flex through that right foot and draw it forwards just a little more in front of you, so it's almost parallel to the front of your mat. And then you can take that the left knee rather, and bring it towards your right foot and adjust that left foot rather out just a little more, so we have a 90-degree bend into that left knee. You may need to readjust your hips a little bit here. We should feel this in the outside of our left hip. You can stay right there if that's enough for you, but if you want a little bit more, you can take it to a twist over towards the right. So still tall through the spine here, really twisting from that upper body. If that's okay for you, stay. If you still want a little bit more, keeping that left hip rather, as heavy as you can start to lower your torso down. Now we don't want to have that left hip lift up, so you might just stay with one forearm down. You might feel okay with two forearms down. It's a really big twist though here still, so just be mindful of how that is affecting your waist, your low back, all that good stuff. If you did fold, you can start to make your way up the same way we came in. So starting to come up through the twist and then coming out of the twist, facing forwards. Place your hands behind you so that you can lift your heels and just swing them over to the other side. Readjusting here, it's a little nitpicky to begin with. So flex through your left foot, making sure that then you draw your right knee closer towards your left heel and press out that right foot so you get a 90-degree angle bend into that right knee. Readjust hips a little bit maybe, but as you feel ready here, it could feel totally different on the other side, and that's totally okay. You might want to just stay right here. You might take that twist though over towards the left. Lifting tall through the spine, twisting from the upper body. This could be where you stay. You can still, of course, start to lower your way down, keeping that right hip nice and heavy, lowering onto forearms. Maybe just starting with one and then sort of focusing in on that twist a little bit more to get that the right forearm that is down to the earth. One more breath on this side. And coming out of it nice and easy, so lifting if you folded forwards, coming back to your tall twist, and then coming back to forwards in front. Draw those hands behind you again, just so you can place those feet in front of you, and a little windshield wiper then of the feet from side to side. Great. Make sure you have space behind you, so readjust if you need to as we're making our way onto our backs one final time. So lower it all the way down to the earth. Little chance for one more core exercise there. When you get to the mat, walk your feet in. We'll set up for one bridge pose. So just, it can be a nice restorative version of bridge. It could be maybe a more active version. Depends how you're feeling right now. Hands start by your side though. Feet are walked in towards your heels. Or feet are walked in towards your hips, that is. As you start to press into your heels, that's when you lift your hips, you lift your spine, and you can lift yourself up into maybe you're taking more of a 80% bridge or a 50% bridge. You, of course, can take a 100% bridge, lifting all the way up to your fullest expression, but it's not a requirement right now. We're holding here for a couple breaths. So find a place where you can maintain that same level of energy for the whole time that we're here. Maybe that also means you take your block or block-like object and place it underneath your back so that you can go ahead and lower your hips and get a restorative variation of this. If you're looking for a little more, though, press down into those heels and imagine there are strings attached to your knees, pulling your knees forward to the front of your mat to help lift and activate your hamstrings, getting a little more through the legs, through the hips. We'll take 2 more rounds of breath wherever you are. As you are ready to come out of the pose, just make sure that you release your hands, release your props, whatever is there, so that as you roll the spine down, it can be a nice long release. Landing with your hips to the earth, pause for a moment, and then you can windshield wiper knees from side to side if you like. Bring the knees back into your chest, hugging them there for just a moment. We'll go ahead and take our hands behind our thighs, so behind our knees almost. And from there, try to draw your knees towards your armpits. The hips stay as heavy as they can here. Just a nice way to open up the hips and keep the low back happy. This might feel good to you, but you also might want to go into a happy baby from here, reaching your heels to the sky and grabbing your peace fingers around big toe mounds or to the inside or outside of your foot. Remembering, though, to try to keep that tailbone rooted to the earth. If there are any other final postures you're craving, now is your chance to take that here. Maybe a last twist, but we did do a lot of twisting today. Maybe an inversion, or maybe you are ready to release into our last and our final shape, our Shavasana, extending the arms and the legs to your variation of it. And take your time though. Again, we're not here to rush. We are here to simply enjoy what we have. And eventually, though, we make our way into that last shape. And here we can pause, take a moment of gratitude for ourselves and the work that we've done, and allowing that to resonate within us as we find stillness. It's our chance now to enjoy the work that we have accomplished and feeling that in its fullest entity. So really taking in this present moment for what it is. And as you rest, just know I will guide you out of this pose when it is time. We'll slowly start to make our way out of this posture. You can begin with some small movements. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. Slowly increasing those movements to the head, the arms, maybe a full body stretch. We'll all meet on our right side fetal position, taking time to pause here for a moment. And in these last few moments of our practice, again, just honing in on the feeling that you have. That feeling from your body, the feeling from your energy, the feeling of your breath. And remembering that this can stay with you, this feeling. That you can take this through your day and help you to get through whatever challenges you need to or whatever discomforts you need to. And just seeing how long it lasts. It's all about the awareness. So continuing to hold on to it as much as you can. We'll make our way to a seat facing the front of your mat. As you find your way there, you can keep the eyes closed, the body is heavy. The hands will eventually meet with your hands to heart center. Closing our practice with a final round of breath. Start by releasing all existing air out. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. We'll take those hands from our heart to our third eye center between the eyebrows. And bowing forwards for this practice and the community it gives us. Namaste. Thanks everybody so much for coming to join again. It's always a pleasure